Here in Charleston, we love our aquatic friends, and that's why I have one of our human friends, Megan Gallipo from the South Carolina Aquarium, here to tell us how we can keep them safe this summer.
Yeah, so we have a lot of wildlife in our waters year-round here, especially in the summer we have even more. So there's a lot of ways that we can protect our wildlife when we're enjoying the habitat that we share with them. The first way is to be respectful of no-wake zones, like the ones right here in the Wapu.
Yes, so what exactly does that mean?
So those areas are clearly marked and that say no wake, which means you have to slow your speed significantly so you're not throwing a wake behind your boat. And so just be aware of where that starts and ends and follow those rules.
So let's get right into it. There are some animals that are not here all of the time.
Right.
Year-round in Charleston. Can you tell me a little bit about those?
Yeah, so this time of year we have manatees that migrate from the south up into our waterways. We also have a lot of sea turtles in our water this time of year. So those are animals that can be slower moving. So it's really important to, while you're boating, to keep an eye out for them. And if you do see one of them, cut your engine, move very slowly, give them a lot of distance so you don't accidentally
hit them with your propeller. Oh goodness. Now, we don't need to be feeding these animals either, correct?
Definitely, correct. It is illegal to feed any wildlife like that. These are all animals that are protected either by the state or federally protected. Specifically, dolphins are protected by the Marine Mammal Protection Act, which is federal protection, manatees as well. And most people don't realize that, but it's actually illegal to feed or pet a dolphin in the wild. It's illegal to even approach them within 50 yards with your boat, which is about 150 feet.
Okay, so what would you recommend for, because we see dolphins year-round here in Charleston, right?
Yeah.
What would you recommend is a good way to admire the dolphins without hurting them or having to pay a fine?
Yeah, that's a great question. And you know, we love our dolphins here in Charleston, and it's really a special treat to get to see them. But we do need to remember to admire them from a distance. Approaching them with our boat can make them nervous, especially if they have a small calf with them. It can also put them at risk of getting hit by a propeller, which can cause serious injury. Animals that are fed by humans in their boats, they learn to associate humans with food. They start approaching the boats. That puts them at greater risk of getting injured. They may ingest something that they shouldn't eat, you know, something that's not good for them or something that's not natural for them to eat. And the biggest thing is that if they're paying attention to the boat and people, then they're not doing the natural behaviors that they should be doing. They're not focusing on looking out for predators or using their energy to, you know, do all the wild things that they should be doing. So, you know, it's impossible to avoid dolphins out here. We don't need to avoid them. We don't have to run away from them, you know. We just need to admire them from a distance. Don't approach them with your boat. If they approach your boat, just put your engine in neutral and, you know, and don't give them, try to pet them or touch them or anything like that.
Keep them wild.
Definitely.
Now, in these waterways specifically, if we're talking about boat landings and where you're going to be out on the water, are there any things that you need to worry about with fish or other, you know, aquatic critters, or maybe not so aquatic critters that might run into your boat? Stuff like that?
Well, you know, there could be animals around here like even like river otters or mink, things like that. And so you want to just, anytime you see an animal like that, remember it's a wild animal. It's probably afraid of you and it could feel threatened by you. So even if they're fluffy and cute looking, you know, we want to give them lots of space. You know, there's going to be fish all over, but they generally can get out of the way. You know, but there's just those slower moving animals like manatees. They especially hang out near boat landings. Those are the guys you really want to keep an eye on, especially in the summer.
Gotcha. And what about trash and litter? Has that been an issue?
That's a big issue, of course, for any animal that lives in the ocean. I mean, we see animals that get entangled. We see dolphins with scars and you know, from being entangled in fishing gear, discarded fishing gear. We also see a lot of, we have turtles that come to our turtle hospital at the South Carolina Aquarium that have been entangled, they've been hit by boats, or they've ingested plastic thinking it's food.
No.
So, you know, all of those things that we do, if we can make an effort to keep our oceans cleaner, then we are really having a very significant impact on the animals that we share the waterways with here.
Gotcha. Now, is there anything else that you want to mention off the top of your head so we can keep everybody safe and healthy this season?
Yeah, I mean, just remember that it is such a privilege for us to have this beautiful area here in Charleston, but we have to remember that we share this. This is the natural habitat of so many other animals here. So we have to really be respectful of them and remember that we're entering their world when we go onto the water, as we try to just be respectful of them and keep their area clean and keep it safe for them.